Good afternoon. My name is Darryle Benjamin, and I'm a member of Group 6 in Computer Architecture department. Today, I'm here to talk about set associative mapping. Set associative mapping. So before I start, I will want to briefly explain what cache is. It's a small proportion of in a main memory. Yes. So in a cache memory, data is transferred as blocks from the primary memory to the cache memory. This process is known as cache mapping. Yeah. So when data is transferred from small, from what is transferred as block into the memory, the primary memory to get the cache memory is known as cache mapping. Is when a processor wants a data cache is checked first. If if it's present, then data is transferred into the CPU. Yes. So you can with the diagram below, you can clearly see how the process is done from word transfer from the CPU to the cache memory to the main memory as blocks. Yes, back and forth, back and forth. So yeah, um, cache mapping that has what do you call it? Has three types of has two type of that two type of mapping, two type of cache mapping. So which are the direct and associative and the set associative. So what is the set associative mapping? The set associative mapping is a combination of direct associative mapping and it is a combination of direct associative mapping divided cache block into sets. Cache lanes are grouped into sets. The number of lines the number of lines are set can vary from 2 to 16. The data can be stored in any of these lanes the set within the set. The sublines within the set are called blocks. So yes, which that what I was reading to you. You can clearly see it on the diagram beside it over here. So yes, I want to end here and leave the rest to my group members so that they can briefly explain to you the rest of the associative mapping. Thank you.
My name is Enochilin and I'll be presenting on set associative mapping. Set associative mapping is actually one of the three types of cache mapping, and it's actually a combination of both the direct and associative mapping. It divides inside the set associative mapping, it divides cache blocks into sets, and cache lines are grouped into sets. The number of lines in the set can vary from 2 to 16. The data can be stored in any of the in any of the lines within the sets. The sublines in the set are called blocks. That's what you see over here. This is a cache memory inside a set associative mapping. And you can actually see the grouping of the sets. And the lines inside the sets are actually called blocks. So in set associative mapping, we have something called the main memory address. And the main memory address is divided into tags, sets, and word or offsets. And so a tag is a number of bits required to compare two blocks which belong to the same set. And a set is a number of bits required to identify the corresponding set numbers inside the cache where a main memory block will be placed. And the word is a number of bits required to identify a particular word within the block. So we're actually going to solve examples on how to find the value of the tag, the sets, and the word. Okay. So in this question, we have been given the size of a main memory to be 64 kilowatts. We're actually supposed to change it to watts because you're not working in kilowatts, working in watts. And then, so 64, if you change indices, is 2 to the power 6. We're working with the powers, not the base. So we have to change everything into indices. So it's 2 to the power 6. And then the kilo is 2 to the power 10. So remember in indices, you have to add the Let me do it over here for you to see. You have to add the powers together, and that will give us 16. So we have the size of the main memory to be 16-bit address. We're also given the memory size to be 128 blocks. And they said we should note that one word is equal to 4 bits. And this is one important thing. You must always note the type of set associative mapping you are doing, because sometimes you can also be given a four-way set associative mapping. So we are told that we are supposed to find the tag, the set, and the word, and each block size contains 16 words. Okay. So the word bits, for the formula to finding the word bits is log base 2 into brackets block size. And remember the block size was given to us over here as 16 words. So it is log base 2 into bracket 16, and that will give us 4, since 2 to the power 4 is 16. So it's log base 2 into bracket to the power 4. So the power is 4. So that will give us the word bits. So that's what we have actually written over here. And they said, so finding the set is long base 2 into bracket the number of sets inside the cache. And the number of sets in the cache was not actually given, so you have to find it. The number of sets in the cache is equal to the cache memory size divided by the way set associative mapping it is. So if it's a two-way, it's a four-way, it's an eight-way. So we're actually given a two-way. So it's the cache memory size divided by 2. The cache memory size was given to us as 128. 128 divided by 2, and that will give us 64. So we are actually finding the set bits. So now we have gotten the number of sets in the cache. It is log, remember the formula is log base 2 into bracket the number of sets in the cache. That was 64. So it is 6. So that's what we are putting over here. So remember the total was given to us as 16-bit address. That was the size of the main memory was given to us as 16-bit address. And so to find the tag, you must subtract the set and the word from the total to get the tag. So that will be 16 minus 4 minus 6, and that will give us 6. So the tag is 6. So that's how we find it. So we are going to map in techniques. If I block of a sorry, if I block of a main memory have to be placed in J sets of cache memory, then J is equal to I mod number of sets in the cache. A new block for main memory can be placed anywhere within the sets. 1. Map the block of the main memory to the set in the cache memory. And 2. This can be placed even in the first most available block within the sets. So we're actually going to do the mapping of the set associative. And then the set. So always know that actually the cache is actually from the main memory. The structure of a cache is from the main memory, where the blocks inside here have been grouped into sets inside the cache. And so they said to find the total block inside the main memory is the size of the main memory divided by the size of one block. And so remember, we're coming to actually arrange the blocks from the main memory inside the cache. And so that's what I was given over here. That if an I block of the main memory has to be placed inside the J set of a cache memory, then J is equal to I mod number of sets in the cache. So the number of sets inside the cache was actually 64. And then the value that was supposed to be placed, that was an I block. I actually want to know where the I block is going to be placed. So our I over here is actually 0. So 0 mod 64. That will give us the J, our J, which is the set it's supposed to be in. So it is the zeroth set. So we'll place B0 if you see it over here inside the S0. And then if we move to the next one, that is 1 mod 64. That is 1. So it's supposed to be inside the first set. So we place B1 inside the first set. And if you skip all the way to the last one, you know that it's not actually falling apart and it can be anywhere. And it's 64 mod 64 give us zeros. So it's supposed to point at 0 10. We will go back to H0. Then we'll put B64. If you see it over, I know it's not clear, but if you see it over here, B64 also fall inside the S0. So I'll leave the presentation for the rest of my group members to continue. Thank you very much.
Hi, good evening. I'm presenting on CAT organization in the ever, and this is the introduction. In the ever evolving landscape of computer architecture, the demand for faster and more efficient data access has led to the development of cache memory, a pivotal component in modern computing systems. Cache memory, a high-speed volatile storage unit, plays a pivotal role in bridging the gap between blazing fast but limited CPU registers and the larger but slower main memory (RAM). This presentation delves into the significance of cache memory in the memory hierarchy, explores the different cache organization, analyze how cache size, block size, and associativity impacts performance, examines the importance of cache hit and cache miss rate, illustrates cache memory organization visually, provides real-world examples of cache utility, and elucidates how cache organization contributes to overall system performance. The memory hierarchy. A memory hierarchy characterized by varying levels of speed, capacity, and cost is diverse to optimize memory access times. Cache memory stands as the intermediary between the CPU registers and main memory, catering to the CPU's insatiable need for data. The hierarchy encompasses CPU registers, cache memory, and main memory, with each level offering a trade-off between speed and size. Cache memory mitigates the latency bottleneck by exploiting the principles of temporal and spatial locality, storing frequent use instructions and data, resulting in reduced memory access times and enhanced overall performance. This is the memory hierarchy design. The CPU is the level 0, cache memory is level 1, main memory or DRAMs level 2, magnetic disk or disk storage level 3, optical disk level 4, and magnetic disk also level 4. And this the increasing capacity, access time, and increase in cost per bit. The cache memories rule. The keys organization and system performance. Optimal cache organization exerts a substantial influence on overall system performance. A well-structured cache hierarchy kettle memory times, memory access times, memory bottlenecks, and reduce the necessity for frequent memory access. This directly heightens CPU efficiency, facilitating faster instruction execution and enhanced data processing. Comparative diagram. Visual diagrams drawing comparison among different cache organizations, direct mapped, set associative, and fully associative afford a holistic grasp of their trade-offs. This diagram highlights aspects such as cache hit rate, conflicts and complexity, which inform prudent cache design decisions. visual representation of cache memory. The visual representation, the lightning cache memory organization, vividly portrays data flows through distinct cache levels. CPU registers interference that directly with cache, which in turn interferes with main memory. The direct cache organization, direct map, set associative and fully associative are vividly depicted, depicted, underscoring their distinct arrangements and interaction. The conclusion: cache memory occupies a pivotal niche in modern computer systems, augmenting performance by bridging the jumps between CPU registers and main memory. The preference for cache organization, direct map, set associative or fully associative exerts its influence on cache performance through variables like size, block size, and associativity. Cache hit and cache miss rates provide insights into cache efficiency, while concrete real-world applications exemplify the practical utility of cache by refining cache organization. Computer systems attain fluid data access, accelerated instruction execution, and ultimately heighten overall performance. Thank you.
Good day, please. I'm Bethel Amankwah, and I'll be presenting on associativity and cache miss rates. We'll be looking at some sub-themes, that's associativity as a concept in cache design, explanation of direct map, n-way-set associative, and fully associative caches. Then we'll look at the relationship between cache associativity and cache miss rate. Then the types of cache misses. Introduction. Associativity in cache design deals with how cache blocks are mapped to cache sets. In cache, a block of data is loaded from memory into a cache line. The cache is divided into sets, and each set is typically composed of several cache lines. The associativity determines the number of cache lines that can be stored in that set. Please, let's make notice of this. The associativity determines the number of cache lines that can be stored in that set. We'll move on to the cache design, and under that, we will look at direct map. Cache design refers to the process of designing the cache memory of a computer system. Direct map also refers to a cache organization where each block in main memory is mapped to only one location in the cache. This means that each memory block can be stored in one specific cache block. From the diagram below, we can see the CPU, the cache, and then the main memory. Data is being transmitted from the main memory to the cache in the form of blocks. Data is also being transmitted from cache to the CPU in the form of words. Let us look at the advantages and disadvantages of direct mapping. Advantages: 1. It's easy. 2. Does not require any search technique to find a block in cache, since each block in the main memory is mapped to one location in the cache. It makes it easy to identify. 3. Replacement is a straightforward one. Disadvantages: many blocks in the main memory are mapped to the same cache block. We may have other empty in the cache. And lastly, poor cache utilization. We then look at the n-way set associative. It's a memory, that's cache memory architecture, that allows a cache line to be stored in multiple sets within the cache. The n-way set associative cache lies between the direct map cache and the fully associative cache. In the first diagram, given a cache line from memory, the index of set it belongs to is first calculated. Then it is placed in one of the n cache lines in this set. For instance, a number being 23. The index of this number is the first number, which is 2. From the second diagram, you can see the processes and then the method the n-way set associative goes through. We move on to fully associative cache. Fully associative cache is a kind of cache where every block of the primary memory can be mapped to any location in the cache memory. So, with a fully associative cache, it's opposite to the direct mapped cache, because for the direct map cache, each block in the main memory is mapped to a specified location in the cache memory. But with the fully associative cache, a kind of cache where every block of the primary memory, that the main memory, can be mapped to any location in the cache memory. Thus, a block from the main memory can be mapped to any location in the cache memory without a specified one. So from the first diagrams, you can see the main memory, that the blocks in the main memory being mapped to the cache memory without being in a specified location. And then for the other diagram, you can see the terms and then the procedures it goes through. Thus, an address is partitioned to offset within block and block number. Each block may be mapped to each of the cache lines, and then each cache line has a tag. That all tags are compared to the block in parallel, need a comparator per line, and if one of the tags matches the block, we have a bit. Supply data according to offset. We then move on to the relationship between cache associativity and cache miss rate. The relationship between cache associativity and cache miss rate is generally proportional. Cache associativity refers to the number of cache lines that can map to a particular set in cache. It determines how many possible cache lines can occupy in a set. In direct map, each memory block can only map to one specific cache line, which means if multiple memory blocks map to the same cache line, it will result in conflict. Whilst in a fully associative, the cache is divided into multiple sets, and each set contains a certain number of cache. As the cache associativity increases, thus from direct to full associativity, the likelihood of cache conflicts decreases, leading to lower cache miss rates. We then move on to the types of cache misses. Compulsory cache miss. Here, item that has never been in cache is found here. Capacity cache miss. Item that has been in the cache but space was too tight and it was forced out. Conflict miss. Item that was in the cache but the cache was not associative enough, so was forced out. To sum it all up, the associativity of a cache directly impacts the cache miss rate. Cache miss rate refers to the percentage of memory accesses that result in a cache miss, meaning the requested data is not found in the cache and needs to be fetched from a higher level memory. Higher associativity generally leads to lower cache miss rates, while lower associativity tends to result in higher cache miss rates due to increased conflicts. Cache miss rates are also influenced by other factors like cache size, algorithms, and many more.